universe, you never know. You have to believe it. Number one, believe in yourself, and whatever you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, believe it. And I promise you, you will have it.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the What You Don't Hear podcast. I'm your host. My name is Ross Tyson. I am a filmmaker, a creative director, a doer of probably too many things, let's be honest. But of course, most importantly in this aspect, I'm a talker and a lover of a good, authentic story, which is exactly what this show is made of. So, what I do on this podcast is I sit down with a guest and I chat with them about their life story, covering, well, a little bit of everything, including mainly what their journey of chasing their passions and goals has really looked like, covering all the ups, all the downs, and all the thoughts and feelings in between, digging into those sides of people's stories that we don't often get to hear. And my oh my, do I have an awesome episode for you this week with my friend T. Murta. Now, T is a boxing coach at Fit14 here in Columbus, but this story is about so much more than that. T has one of the, I would say, wildest stories that I've ever shared here on the show. It is a very powerful story of going from, coming to America when he was a kid and being bullied, entering the world of gang activity, how boxing got him out of all of that, and now, his new outlooks he has on life and how much he just wants to help others find their way now after going through all of that. And after he's made it through everything that he's made it through and just the person that he's grown into now. So I don't know, this is a really great conversation. We really talk about so much, and I'm excited to share it. This is really a great example of what this show is all about, at least in my opinion. And T himself is just a great dude that I'm really glad that I got to talk to. So let's just dive in. Here is episode 48 of What You Don't Hear and the story of T. Murta. Good to go?
Perfect, good, yes, sir.
Okay, T, let's do this thing, man. Welcome to the show, dude.
Thank you, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm I'm sweating right now. I'm always cold, but my hands sweaty because I'm so nervous and excited for this.
I am so stoked that you are so stoked to do this.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Really? Dude,
I was tossing, turning, thinking about, okay, how is he going to go? Then I started watching some of your videos. I'm like, this dude is professional. Hold up. I got to make sure I get some sleep. And the more I thought about it, the more it's like, okay, if I sleep now, 2 hours, yeah.
Of course, it was one of those
I'm ready
things.
to go.
Dude,
yes, sir.
That is awesome. Well,
yes,
dude,
sir.
First off, thank you so much for being down to do this and being even that excited to come on the show and share your story, man.
Thank you for having me. This means a lot, man. I'm humbled to be here, actually.
Yeah, dude, that is
thank you so
that
much.
is
It's
so
an honor,
cool
honestly.
That's so cool to hear, man. And so I guess just kind of diving into it, man, again, I am excited that you are excited because we just recently formally met. Right?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And we were filming a story film and commercial for Fit14.
Correct.
The gym that you're a trainer at.
Yes, sir.
And, I mean, realistically, the entire, everyone's interviews and stories there were just awesome.
Right.
Everybody is so on point. The culture of that place is incredible.
Right.
I just actually had Ryan on the show.
Oh,
and
wow.
recorded an episode with him.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm kind of beginning my plan is I kind of would love to get a little bit of everybody on the show at some point.
That's awesome.
Because doing the interviews with you guys just for a film, I don't want to say left an impression. I don't know if that's even the right phrasing necessarily, but it just made me feel something. I was like, man, everyone here cares so much about training and just helping people and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And not to spoil anything for the listeners or viewers at home, but your story in particular, the glimpse that I got of it in the interview, because it wasn't super long. We sat there for probably 20, 30 minutes, right? And we had more formal questions, right? That was just very much tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that. But
correct.
There were just portions of your story, man, that I was like, my goodness, I want to hear more about this. And it just sounds like an incredible story. And in that little bit of time getting to know you, you seem like an incredible person. I was just like, man, I need to sit down with this dude and just get to know him better. And of course, dive into that story. So what better place than a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Where it's going to be shared with everybody else. So while we get to know each other better, so is
Correct.
everybody else who's
Man,
watching.
I'm
or listening.
excited. Yes, sir. I'm so excited for this. You don't understand.
Dude, I am so stoked. So honestly, man, let's just dive into it. I mean, up front, you are the boxing trainer.
Correct.
At Fit14,
Right.
right? And so how long have you been doing that?
I think that we opened up in 2016, so I've been there since then, actually.
Okay, so you were there from the beginning.
Correct. Yes,
okay.
sir.
It's funny because now I've got a little bit more of that story from Ryan, so I'm like, oh, okay, you were
So
in that.
trainers, right. So I was actually one of the original ones, trainers still there.
That's awesome.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so again, I know glimpses of this, but how do you become a boxing trainer? And I know I'm now opening the floodgates of like, let's just dive in, but
Right.
how do you even come about that?
Honestly, it's just a passion. I did MMA for a little bit, a little bit about myself actually. If I could dive right into my little bit of history, so
Absolutely,
that way
man.
how actually just all adds up. I was born in Pakistan, and I was there, raised there, and I came to the States when I was 13 years old with no English whatsoever. So I didn't speak English, maybe my ABCs and thank you, and that was it. Going to school, I was excited to be in America, number one, actually, because, Pakistan, my family is really rich. We have mansions. And a little bit about my family history is my grandparents, actually, they used to, sell stuff on the cart, on the streets, so that way they could provide for the family and whatnot. So my dad was the only one. He's like, you know what? We need to figure something else out because, this is too much work and we're not bringing enough, for everybody. And back home culture is we all stay together as a family. So we have 12 to 15 bedrooms with everybody stays together. We eat together, we provide together, so everything. So it's like you grow up in a big family. So my uncle was like, to my dad, he's like, why don't you go to school and, maybe you could figure something out. So he went to school and learned English. Then, luckily, this is like 80 something. My dad's cousin, so my second uncle, they had a big factory at the time, and they weren't doing well at all. And they were struggling with it. They were about to go bankrupt. So my uncle was like, we have some money saved. What if we bought this factory? So my dad was like, let's do it. So they bought the factory. They started making leather goods. I'm talking about leather jackets, gloves, workout gloves, everything, boxing gloves. So everything was made from scratch from there. So started doing good, really good. So my dad was like, what if we expanded the business outside the Pakistan area? So my uncle was like, okay, what you thinking? So my dad was like, let's go to Europe. So my dad goes to Europe, because he's the only one who speaks English. Everybody else is, hustling back home, trying to do what they can for the family. So my dad goes to Europe. Next thing you know, he gets 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients. Bro, we went from being broke to like millionaires, if not billionaires, right? So we have 12 to 15 that we expanded, like a big house. We were the only people in the neighborhood who we had car for each day. I said we had 5 different cars because we could, So, that went on for 3 years, you know what I mean? So my dad was like, 1990, I want to say, he was like, you know what? We did really well. We conquered Europe. What if we went outside? So my uncle's like, now what you thinking? So he's like, I'm thinking United States because that's the biggest opportunity ever. So like, bet, let's do it. So my dad comes to, America, stays here for a few years. Business picks up, then he's like, I can't do this without my family because we have a bigger opportunity here than we did in Europe. So therefore, let's go ahead, stay here, focus on this. So my uncle's like, all right, cool. So my dad brings me, my family with him to the States. That's how I came to the States. So my dad's business was going well. A couple of years into it, he gets a huge hit. I'm talking about maybe $1 million contract with this big company, and I'm like, this is the beginning of the new chapter. Just like something happened in Europe, it's going to happen again in America. This is the first contract. So it was over $1 million contract, you know what I mean? So back home, that's converts into a lot. So, into 100 million, if anything, because the currencies, you know what I mean? So if I might be over exaggerating, but it's a lot over there.
Yeah.
So my uncle's like, okay, great job. What we need to do, he's like, we need to send this much merchandise to the, to this company. They do all the work within a month, send it. Next thing you know, my dad's like, hey, I'm here. You got the stuff? Yes, we did. Let me get the payment. No payment. The guy my dad was dealing with disappeared. So we're like, what just happened? Like, what's going on? So the dude disappeared from this company. We try to get lawyers. There's no way we're going to win this against this big company. Big company. I'm talking about a big company, you know, athletic company. Because we had a good contract, so now they disappeared because they got the stuff, whatever. So my dad's like, hey, good look, guys. He calls my uncle. He's like, hey, look, this is what happened. I can't find the guy. So it took a 2 years, 3 years process. Everything disappeared, right? Can't figure anything out. We're in a whole $1 million. US $1 million back home is worse. So my uncle's pissed. So when my dad goes home, trying to explain everything. Now this is a millionaire. This whole family is a millionaire because of my pops, right? He gets kicked out of the tribe because they said you done messed up. You stole the money and you ate it, so therefore you done. So you get no chunk of the whatever family. After my grandpa passed away, no, ain't nobody got nothing. So that messed up my dad. So now we're in the States. Now he's messed up. Me and him having a bad relationship because he doesn't know, you know. So me and him kind of, because I'm the oldest, so I'm supposed to know everything, but I'm not. I don't know what. I'm 13 years old, 14 years old,
and adjusting to living
new culture.
Yeah,
you know, it's a whole different thing. So that's happening. Then I go to school. I don't speak any English. Then that's another stress. So I'm like, okay, what now? So I can't. So I get bullied.
Yeah.
This is where it all started.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm getting picked on. So I'm sitting here like, okay, one dude picked me up. I cried, go home. My dad's like, what's wrong? I'm like, you know, I got beat up. Then he whooped my ass. He said, which one hurt the most? When I hit you, or when the dude hit you? I'm like, you. I'm like, next time you come home crying, it's gonna be worse. So better not come home crying. I was like, okay, so I have to be toughened up again. I had to be something, but I didn't have the guidance. I was expected to be a great person, or I was the oldest, have to set examples for my, youngest ones, and that's why he was hard on me. It was his love, but to me, it was like, damn, why do you hate me? Mm-hmm. What did I do? That was the uncles. What I didn't do nothing to you. I was on your side this whole time. So I started having this anger. I'm dealing with bullies at school, and I'm coming home, and I can't talk about anything. You know what I mean? So it got worse. I was like, fuck. So one guy beats me up. Next thing you know, I didn't do nothing. Everybody's watching. The second guy's like, this guy's a pussy. This guy's, a wimp. Can I curse here?
You totally can, yeah. Totally fine.
That's going to help me out somewhat.
Say whatever you want.
No, say, all right, good. I didn't know it was like PG-13.
No,
because, then I got picked on by 2 people, then 3 people, then 4 people. Then I can't come home crying. I'm going to get more whooping. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck. All right, so dealt with it, middle school, whatnot. Here comes to high school. Still a little bit English, enough to get by, but not to, talk about it or have a conversation. So I had a lot of Indian and Pakistani friends, growing up, because they spoke the same language, so we understood and they helped. I was in ESL, English as second language, because I was learning English, right? Mm-hmm. So it was one of those things where, like, one of my best friends, actually, from Pakistan, we hanging out. One day he comes home, comes to class, all beat up. He had a brutal, it was messed up. I'm like, what happened? We was good last night. We was kicking it. What the fuck happened? Or yesterday after school, he's like, bro, you don't want to know. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, there's a Mexican gang, Cholos. They having a meeting in the parking lot. My car was parked right there. All I said was, it wasn't rude or nothing. He said, excuse me, guys, I just need to get to my car. And they're like, all right, go ahead. So they let him come to the car, and then boom, jumped his ass because he disrespected them. So it was, what I mean? So this guy, I knew him, like, who's the guy like that guy? Like, fuck, all right. Don't make eye contact. I got nothing to do with this guy. Next thing you know, adjusting to high school. Next thing you know, I'm getting bullied there again by, football players or whatever, people who famous, whatnot. Pushing me in the locker, bathroom, just doing crazy shit because how I look different or something. I don't know. But it was just like, I don't know what it was about me, but they actually wanted to just come at me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even speak English. I didn't even know these people. So when that happened, one day, my friend and I talking about it, the guy who got beat up with the locker. And it's funny, me and him talking about it in high school, it was freshman year. And he having a conversation like, man, what happened? What's going on? What we doing after school? And then he just like, I gotta go. Then he takes off. I'm like, what the fuck? So I turn around, and it's one of the leaders that's coming that whooped his ass, right? So he got scared. So I was like, oh shit, he's coming this way. So I see him down the hall. Next thing you know, luckily, I say luckily. Sorry, getting too close. I'm excited about this. This is where the whole thing started for me.
Yeah.
This one dude, this white dude, he pushed me and did some crazy shit to me at the locker. Almost shoved me in the locker. And I'm almost crying, like, what the fuck? And other dude's coming who just whooped my best friend's ass, right? So I'm like, this is it. It's me. He saw me talking to him. They thinking that we're trying to plan something with Pakistani people. So I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm done. So I'm like, I turn around real quick, like a locker. I don't pretend I see him. Like, he's standing right there. Next, I turn around like, fuck, I can't. I'm running late from my class. Like, what the fuck? So I have to go. So I turn around. This dude literally standing like this. Literally, like, he had a fucking hairnet. And, I got goosebumps. Like, I'm shitting my pants. I'm like, bro, what the fuck did I do, man? Like, I didn't do anything. I just got whooped. He's like, he just looks at me with straight face. He's like, why you let them do that to you, Holmes? I'm like, excuse me? He's like, that white boy. Why you let him do that to you? I'm like, bro, that's all happened. He just looked at me. He's like, he shakes his hand. So I'm like, he's about to hit me, slap me. What the fuck he doing? Mm-hmm. Next you know, he just gives me, like, I got you. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you no more. I'm like, why? Like, why are you doing this? Like, bro, I've been watching you. You different. You got this different energy about you, Holmes. I'm like, the fuck did I do? Am I in trouble? Whatnot? I'm like, all right, cool. Next day I come to school, all his homies, everybody just showing love. Like, what's up, Chief? I got my nickname Chief because I was the smallest and I was just ready to fight. I had so much anger built in me. So much hate because I was bullied for no fucking reason. So all these people who fucking bullied me, I went after them. I was like, fuck you. Let's do it. So I had my homies with me. They say, if somebody disrespects you in public, you get the respect right back in public. If not, people gonna walk all over you, motherfucker. And that's exactly what happened before. I'm not gonna let that happen no more.
Yeah.
This motherfucker walking down the street, I'll get on his face, big motherfucker. Fuck you. He said, excuse me? Next, we got homies with me. They're like, oh shit, we ain't fucking with you. Because they seen these guys. We seen these guys, they don't fuck around. So we start hanging out with them, right? Next, got in trouble in school. We had to move. Got in so much trouble, so we went to a different school. Next, I'm at a different high school, junior year at this point. I had my homies with me for a year and a half, so, my balls are bigger. I'm the shit. I come to new school. No, hell no. I mean, fuck, what the fuck? So, have the mentality, your confidence that nobody's gonna fuck with you. So you try the same thing in a different location. So new school, I don't know nobody here. So I'm doing the best I can not to get in trouble. But again, people want to fuck with me. It's the energy I had or something. I don't know what it is. People hated me for whatever reason. So I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in my own business. Why are you coming up on me like I did something to you? I owe you money. I don't. Mm-hmm. I just moved here. So people have beef with me, white people, whatever. So I became racist towards white people because they always picked on me. So I'm like, damn, here we go again. I have to start all over again. But this time it was a little different because I had a little bit of knowledge, a little bit, I could do stuff, All right, bet. I'm in gym class. I'm about 120, 25 pounds, Smallest kid, in the gym class and quick as fuck. I play basketball. I love basketball. That's another thing. I love basketball. So next, this one dude comes up and his new guy, right? Coach is like, hey, he's going to play ball with Joe. I'm like, all right, cool. And, if you get me on ball court or in the ring or octagon, when I get comfortable, I start talking a lot of shit. I try to get in your head. You know what I mean? I'm that guy. I'm a talker. I talk a lot. I'm going to get in your head. That's my game, right? So I'm talking to this guy, this big dude, right? And I crossed him like, fucked you up. He's like, all right. I don't know this guy is first day in school, in my gym class, whatnot. Next thing you know, I go for a layup. He just goes, boom, smacks the shit out of me. So I get on the floor. Now, mind you, I'm 125. This dude was 6-something and all muscles, right? So I get on his face. I look at him like mad. Like I was about to do something, right? Deep down, I was shitting my pants. This dude was big, right? So he's like, what the fuck, right? What's going on? So he just looked at me and had this smirk on his face. So I'm just look like I'm gonna kill you. Look. But deep down, man, I'm like, please don't. Next, thank God, coach came, the teacher came, broke us up, whatnot. Next, we go to the locker, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, hope he don't come, beat my ass, because he's a big dude. He takes his shirt off, and I'm like, what the fuck is on his shoulder? He had a tattoo of, it was a Black Panther and a lion and a crown on top. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm sitting here looking like, I don't know what that is. Find out he's a fucking Latin king.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, why is this fucking happening to me? Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I'm fucking with like, I'm not doing that. I'm not even Mexican, right? So next thing you know, he looks at me, and I'm terrified at this time. Like, all right, good. I'm fucked. Now what? So next thing you know, he comes up to me. He's like, bro, you got some balls. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, you got some balls, bro. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, nobody ever stepped up to me like that you did in the gym. What the fuck were you thinking? I'm like, bro, I wasn't thinking. He's like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Pakistan. He's like, you got some Spanish. I'm like, man, I used to kick it with Jolos. He's like, my nigga. Boom, boom. Became friends.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck? All right, bet. Next, we started, I'm rolling with Latin Kings. Like, not even a fucking Latino. But they like, you crazy. So they gave me a nickname, Chief. So much Chicago, like, Chief. Like, I'm the smallest kid ready to go because, again, so much hate, so much anger built in me. I'm ready to release. Now I got my new crew. It's going down. So next same thing happened. Whoever's picking on me in new school, I'm going at them. This time I'm going harder because I got a bigger gang with me. Nobody can fuck with me. Like, all right, bet. Next thing you know, Lou comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, what you doing Friday? I'm like, after school, none. I just chilling. Yeah, nothing going on. He's like, come to the crib, just having a party, get together, come through, we're going to kick it. I'm like, all right, bet. So I go home, and I was using, I just got my license, and I was using my dad's minivan, for travel, back and forth because we had a minivan. So that day, the Friday night comes, I'm like, hey, Dad, I need the car. He's like, that's cool, do what you got to do, I'm getting ready. Next something came up, and he had to go to work. So he ended up going to work. So I'm like, I paged my homeboy. We had those pagers back then, pagers. He ain't called me back. So I was like, all right. So Saturday, Sunday, I hear nothing back. I couldn't make it to the party. Monday comes, I'm going to school. I'm getting cold shoulder from everybody, from my homies. All my homies give me cold shoulder. They're like, I'm like, what's going on? They're like, you whack, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody just, so I'm like, one of the guys, I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened? What's going on? Why? I pull up and y'all walk away. Like, y'all calling me, what's going on? He's like, bro, we had a party for you on Friday. I'm like, party for me? He's like, yeah, initiation party. I was supposed to get jumped in that night to be officially part of the game.
Wow.
So I'm saying, like, damn, I got goosebumps. Like, fuck, what if I did go that night? I don't think I could have gotten out from those people. Man, bro, I've seen some crazy shit. Like,
yeah, okay.
Their choice of weapons is like, we had machetes, and we don't fuck around. The dude was like, if you're gonna fight somebody, if somebody got a problem with somebody, don't use your mouth. Don't waste your time. Don't waste his time. You don't like him. He don't like you. Let's go do what we need to do. He got mad every time we talked, like on the face like this. Our leader was the first one. He would hit us first, like, why you talking? Then he go after that. So it was tough, you know what I mean? Our training was weird. Our training was like, we get 10 people lined up. First person like me, for example, you and 9 people behind you. You got smaller to biggest guy. Our training was basically, I had to fight all 10 of them, one at a time. You come in, you whoop my ass. If I fall down, I have to get back up and face the next guy. If I don't get up, all 10 get at me. You don't want that. So this is how it became tough. This is how it became, they said, it's not how hard you hit, it's how you get hit and then get back up. Mm-hmm. That's what they were trying to, I haven't seen the movie. I didn't know anything about it, Rocky or anything. I was just kind of, whatever. Next person comes up. It came to the point where I'm dealing with all these people. I'm getting back up, fighting back. If you came up and hit me, you felt like, you know what, that was a good hit. Remember, we're homies. You're going to get back in line like, oh, that was a good hit. I got him. If you feel like you didn't, then you go again. So feel like I got you back, right? And you're like, damn, that motherfucker, that was a good counter. I'm going to go back. You know what I mean? But if you on the ground and you don't get up, you got 10 motherfuckers coming at you and have no fucking mercy. When I say no mercy, they will swing like you're the enemy. Because that's how, if you can't survive that, how you going to survive the enemy just in case you are on the wrong street or wrong neighborhood? So that's military training, right? My pop's like, what the fuck you doing getting suspended, all this shit? We moved to fucking Ohio. Chicago, man, we left the whole, I feel bad for my brothers. One of my brothers went to 4 different high schools because we kept moving. Yeah. You know what I mean? So imagine doing what he been through. So I come to Ohio, right? Met some people. You know, at this point, I'm still like trying to new ground, new people, new everything.
Was it Columbus or was it?
It was actually Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, okay.
It was just Middletown, Cincinnati area. So I was like, all right, cool. So, at this point, still have the mentality of, white people hate me. So therefore, before they even make any kind of attack at me, I'm gonna attack them first. Mm-hmm. So I was always on the attack mode. My guard is up. I don't trust nobody. You look at me different because that's what happened, and I'm stuck with that back in my head.
Right.
That's what I grew up with. I'm like, fuck. Right. Then met some cool people here in Ohio, white people. And I'm like, y'all all right, right? Then I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, it hit me one day. It literally hit me so big one day that I was like, damn, T, you're so ignorant. I'm from Pakistan. I'm a Muslim. Now, some people look at Muslims as terrorists. Does that make you terrorist? No, you're not a terrorist or anything to do with it, but you doing the same thing just because some white people had some problems because now these people, no. You got, calm down. Chill the fuck out. So I put my guard down. Man, I'm so glad I did. I met the people I met, amazing people. But before all that happened, I was still in the street, Chicago, I'm on the road. Somebody looked at me. I'm like, fuck you, what you looking at? Just start some bullshit, Mm-hmm. Did that a couple of times to where one of my homeboys like, man, you need to chill the fuck out. And this guy was smaller than me. I'm like, I'll fuck you up. Again, Chicago, you're not going to disrespect me.
It was kind of ingrained in you
right.
At that point. Like,
if you disrespect me, then everybody's going to disrespect me. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my brother. You're not going to disrespect me. Say, I fucked you up. He's like, bro, chill out. I'll whoop your ass. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. I'm like, let's do it. He takes me to the octagon. He whoops my fucking ass. I mean, my ass. And I'm like, how? How you picking me up, but I can't pick you up, and I'm like 30 pounds heavier than you? I don't get it. I'm just swinging, there's no technique. And he just, boom, boom, counter everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm saying like, damn, I like this. So, I start blowing. I'm like, motherfucker got me. Ain't nobody got me before. It's like, what? They did, but I'm telling this guy. But, what? I'm like, yeah, fuck. Teach me how to do this. And back then, when I started doing that, there was a lot of, Kimbo Slash was huge.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was my dude, you know what I mean? So we started doing backyard stuff. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So that's where everything started. Then it got a little bit amateur fights, whatnot. Didn't listen to my coaches that well because, again, it was just, you get a little bit training, and you're like, I got this, In order to fight, you don't need, I personally believe you need heart to fight. You can learn the skills, you can learn the technique and everything. If you don't have the heart, I'm sorry, I'm going to spend it's not going to work because you don't have it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I had the heart for it. I got my ass kicked so many times. There was times I would just go get ready for fight, get hyped up, knock the fuck out, wake up in the locker room thinking, I'm about to go fight. I'm like, let's get it. It's like, you got to knock the fuck out, dog. I'm like, when? Yeah. So I didn't listen to my coaches, I didn't listen to my corner. I thought a little bit of training got me, I was already cocky, got me over the top. So I stopped listening. You ain't telling me shit. You're a 21-year-old. You can't tell me shit. I don't care how big you are. I'm confident to kick your ass. And that was a heart, the lion in me. And guess what? I got my ass kicked so many fucking times. And that's what, again, the training that I went through, and nothing. It was nothing. So I could fight one-on-one. I'll take that beating. So here, start getting into that, start training. Then got in trouble, Cincinnati a little bit, then moved to Columbus. Right? Columbus here, start, again, met some cool people. The whole thing just shifted, just changed, basically. Like, I started training at the gym just for fun. I'm like, you know what, let me just train these guys. They have passion just like I did. I'm fucking old now. I can't really, fight no more. Trust me, there was times I wanted to get back in there. But I get hit, by one of my girls' clients, and that shit hurts. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm old. I'm going to listen to my age, and I'm cool. But it's one of those things where that's what got me. So all my friends are like, bro, you should do this for a living. And I'm like, nah, I can't see me do this because it's my passion. I can't see collecting money for this. You know what I mean? I was working at Chase, so Chase wasn't working with my schedule, so I was like, you know what? I forgot to mention, I got 2 beautiful kids, actually. And they weren't working with my schedule around, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. After having kids, man, I forgot my whole thing that actually just changes. Kids changed everything for me. I met this girl, she was going to Ohio State, you know what I mean? So I kind of followed her to Columbus, you know what I mean? So we dated for a little bit, got married, and, have 2 beautiful kids, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things where, like, my girl, she just motivates me, you know what I mean? And got me back in, my head. It's like, it just changed everything for me, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I need to calm down. I need to find a purpose for my life. I have nothing going on. I'm good. I'm happy, you know what I mean? But what's my purpose? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm confused, you know what I mean? Start thinking about stuff. Next, it hits you. I'm at the gym every single day, 3 or 4 hours, training my friends for free. Then I started training some family members, my brother, a whole bunch of family friends. They all said the same thing. They said, you know what, you should train, man. You're good at it. I was like, man, I don't know. You just being too nice. Then there was a semi-professional boxer at the gym one day. And I'm like, let me just see if I could, work with them. Did some mat work with him. And he was like, bro, you a beast. I'm like, now I'm believing people. I never met I've seen this guy work, and I never trained this guy before. He's like, I'm a family. You don't have to be nice. He's like, bro, you a beast. I would definitely pay you to train me. Got me thinking, like, okay, maybe I need to do that. Then Ryan comes in the picture. He's like, hey, bro, I got this gym fit on for you. You should check it out. I'm like, nah, I'm at Chase. They're paying me really good money. I'm good. The security, he's like, bro, once you get in training, I've been doing this for a long time. Trust me. Trust me. I was like, okay. Chase was, not working with my schedule and whatnot, so I came and checked it out gym one day. I looked at the gym like, bro, this is dope. Like, this feels like home. And right off the bat, just felt like home. Like, man, okay, how does it work? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, how does it work? Like, I've never trained before, like, for money. So how does it work? So he basically gave me, I'm like, I still feel guilty, bro. I'm like, I can't, because training is my passion, because I'm helping people. When I help people, that's my payment. Like, yes. But he's like, you're right. But time is money. You are sharing your knowledge with them. So therefore, you know what I mean? You have to pay money to your trainers. I'm like, you're right. So he's like, if they want to come to you, why don't you give them a free session? If they like you to come back, hey, dope. If not, no hard feelings. I'm like, that's a good idea. So Ryan actually took me under his wings, and he kind of walked me through. I was like, hey, man, I feel guilty taking this money. He's like, bro, you earned it. I was like, all right, good. So I start collecting money. Next thing you know, one client comes in. I had one client for like 6 months, I think. Only one client. And I'm like, man, this sucks. I was ready to go back to, find a job. And Ryan was like, nah, bro. This is not like it goes 1, 2, 3. Nah, it's going to be 1, 2, 10, 20. Mm-hmm. This is how the business works. I'm like, all right, you're just trying to make me feel better. Appreciate it. Thank you. No joke. Next month, I had 12 fucking clients.
Wow.
It was weird. At the same time, like, what just happened? People like, hey, man, you train boxing? I'm like, all right, yeah, I do. Next thing you know, I'm like, all right, I got to bring different. Okay, so at the gym, when I'm at the gym before I did this, right, my history, I was just mad at life, just mad at everything. I'm at the gym in the zone. People did not talk to me because they thought I was mad. They're like, you're going to kill somebody. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I was doing that, right? So one day I'm home, laying on the couch. My daughter's like, Baba, why are you mad? I'm like, I'm not mad, baby. It's like, you watching TV, but you like mad. That really hit me. I'm like, I'm presenting myself, even though I'm just chilling. But it's just, the thing is, like, it became a thing where, like, I had to meme mug or something. Just, I don't know what it was. It just became a habit. Like, if I'm outside, you're not going to fuck me because I know you could break me down. If I break down, I'm done. I'm not going to let you do that.
So you were carrying yourself a certain way. Like
I was. I had to guard my heart. I was just ready for anything. I didn't trust anything. It's just like, you know what I mean? So it's like, always in the zone, right? So my daughter brings that up, and then I'm like, man, everybody else is saying the same thing. So I need to change. I need to work on that, all right? So therefore, it's like, all right, I'm boxing. What can I do? All right, let's add music to it. So I started adding music to it. I bring my own speaker, play my music, and all my clients are like, thank God, love my music, and some. And the people tell me like, hey, bring your speaker with you. I'm like, all right, bet. So then I love dancing. I can't dance, but I try to. I could go with the beat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I put it on, start dancing, doing some of the clients like, oh, it's like that. I'm like, you have no idea. Let's dance. Then they start dancing. Next, we're working out without even knowing we're working out. You know what I mean? So that makes me so happy that, clients that, work out with me or work with me, they're like, bro, something about you. But they most of them have no idea what I've been through. So they're about to find out, like, holy shit,
yeah,
you've been that crazy? And I'll tell you what, when I first start and I don't talk about my story no more because it scares the shit out of people. And I've lost some people that I thought was my friends. When you meet some people at the gym and you want to hang out, and next, so tell me about yourself. I'm like, yeah, man, I used to be crazy. Like, oh shit. Then they ghost you because they get so scared, they're terrified. But you know what? I was hiding my story, but this is my story. This is who I am, and I want to put it out there.
Yeah.
It's to me, what triggered everything was bullying. I'm so against bullying. Like, I teach my kids, like, if somebody hits you, hit them back. But if you start something, I'm going to whoop your ass. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't be starting none because, again, it's one of those things where, like, when you have a little bit of training, boxing, or it could be any kind of mixed martial arts training, your confidence, you get confidence, right? For example, I have a client where she is a girl. She was intimidated by word boxing. She's like, it's too violent. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. I'm like, look, just check it out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, right? So next thing you know, we became client, and she became my client. So first time she tried it, she's like, oh my God, I love it. All right, cool. Second time, oh my God. Third time, okay. How can I add more stuff to it? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Well, I want to add some more. Okay, let's talk about, I'm training boxing, but I know a little bit more about other stuff too. Like I do the, Taekwondo or Muay Thai. So I'm like, all right, throw some elbows in there, some knees in there. Next thing you know, after 6 weeks, 7 weeks training, you will feel like you're ready to fight somebody because the confidence you get, you know what I mean? And my biggest thing is to train people. Like, look, I'm training you this. If you train with me, if you came to me and say, hey, I want to box with you, I want to train with you, I'm going to ask you why. Mm-hmm. What's your purpose? Why you want to train with, why boxing? Why me? And they would tell me, like, I want to lose weight. I've seen you work, and you have a lot of fun every time I would see you with the client. You guys are laughing, having a good time. I want to do that. Or I want to get into fighting. And then I had somebody tell me the personal stuff, like, bro, man, sorry. He said, man, my girl's cheating on me, and I want to whoop somebody's ass. I'm sorry, I can't help you there, buddy. Because I know that's going to cause a lot of issues, and no, I'm not doing this. So I'm not going to train anybody. That's why I'm asking you, what are you training for? You know what I mean? A lot of people tell me straight up, and when they tell me, okay, this is what's going on, all right, cool. So I have a different purpose. You have different, like, I'm not going to train you the same way I'm going to train him or her because we have different goals. So to me, it's like helping somebody, it's like the confidence. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to the story. I forgot. I was losing track. So this girl goes to a bar, and I get a text message like 11:30ish, midnight. T, I'm about to whoop this girl's ass. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? She's like, she's talking a lot of shit. I'm like, to you? She's like, no, she's on the next table just being loud. So I'm like, so why you gonna whoop her ass? I know I could take her.
Yeah.
No, we done talked about this.
Right.
This is gonna happen. This is discipline. I was crazy like that. That's why I didn't get so far in this game, you know what I mean? But I've learned late, but now I'm teaching that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you can't be doing that. So we had a whole conversation. I dropped it. I'm like, can't be doing that because you do it. Again, I don't drink. Once people start drinking, they kind of lose control, you know what I mean, of their senses, whatnot. And next thing you know, I could whoop your ass. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. So I'm not going to do it. So therefore, when somebody comes up to me and says they don't want to train with me, sorry.
You're good.
I'm asking why.
Yeah.
So that way I could help you that you need. I could train you same way I trained this person, but is it going to help you? No. So when I'm training my people, I get to know them at a personal level. Mm-hmm. I get to know them because to me, it's a beautiful art, you know. It's not just fighting, it's art. You have to learn. The biggest thing is the discipline, you know what I mean? And that was what I was missing. I was just too crazy. I was just mad at life. Everybody's after me, so I'm just fighting back. You know, I have to defend myself all the time. That's what it was, you know what I mean? Even in the cage or whatever I was fighting or backyard or whatever, I'm just mad. So when you get mad, you tense up and you lose. Everything feels heavy. So you gotta relax. So one of my coaches were like, he saw me one day I was at the gym. I was just mad. I was just going at the bag. He's like, what are you listening to? I'm like, Tupac Hit 'Em Up. And the funny thing is, he's like, Tupac Hit 'Em Up. I'm like, that's one of my favorite songs because when I first came to the States and I started listening to Tupac, right? Didn't know English. So when my teacher would ask me a question like, T, did you do homework? I'm like, fuck yeah. Not knowing what I'm saying, not knowing what, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what you say? I said, hell yeah. Detention, boom, suspended, trouble. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing. Dictionary. That's what everything came to me. Dictionary was my best friend. I was like, I want to learn this, but I can't be getting in trouble because then what the fuck? I don't know what I said. What did I say? They said it's okay. Yeah. I didn't understand that. So dictionary came. So that's why a lot of times people talk to me like, where you from? I'm Pakistan. You have no accent. I'm like, man, look, Tupac was the first person I listened to when I first came to the States. I got in so much trouble for it. Dictionary, you had to look up dictionary where it was English and language translation so I could learn it. So that's where everything, because I started listening to Tupac, that's where slang and everything just started happening and everything else just kind of came around.
Wow.
So it's like, what are you listening to? I'm like, Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. It's like, all right, I want you to listen to it and calm down. I'm like, what? He's like, I want you to relax to this song. I'm like, Coach, you fucking crazy. You see what I'm about to, he's like, exactly. That's your fucking problem. You just get mad. You need to relax. So he made me a list. Everything he saw me, he was like, all right, this song got him. List, all right, I want you to relax to this, meditate to this. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? All right, so he's showing me. He's like, look, put some headphones on, whatever you want to do. Just get in the zone, shadow box. You're fighting your enemy. You're fighting whatever you want to fight, but relax. The harder you throw a punch while you shadow box, you're not hitting anything. You're losing energy. So just in your head, just use the muscles you can, just kind of like slowly, try to, keep it calm, like water, flow. You know what I mean? Right. What are you doing? You just wasted half your energy. Versus you kind of use the words that trigger you to hit the bag, only when to use that and bring it right back. So I was like, bet. Bro, that took forever and ever. That was one of the hardest things I've done. Now I get in the zone, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I listen to the song, I'm like, I'm ready to go. Even when I'm trying to training my clients, I'm like, look, one of my biggest thing is I tell my clients is that, look, I'm gonna ask you why you training with me. You're gonna tell me lose weight or just have fun or whatever. My method is we got 12 weeks of fight coming up, so there's no bullshitting around. So you sign up today, yeah, we're having fun. We're gonna have fun, but our mentality is 12 weeks because 12 weeks, me and you gonna spar. So if you ain't ready, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and that's what happens. And they get frustrated, and all my clients get frustrated when they spar with me. And I'm like, you guys need to understand. I know you guys' weakness. That's what we're working on. So therefore, the more frustrated you get, I was doing the same thing. So I'm teaching that. So I feel so good. I'm able to teach that, learn that about myself. It took time. Now I could pass that down. And that helps me. That makes me feel so good. Just like, again, I have some clients that were struggling with going on dates or having to talk to girls, or they go to the bar and they see somebody, you know, who's big, and they intimidated. Like, nah. So I had some clients actually start, you know, sign up training with me. So we started, you know, doing what we need to do. Again, I get to know my personal level, so I could put that fire under the ass. Like, why you start this? You want to quit now? I know this shit hurts. I used to do this for 8 hours a fucking day. We don't do it for an hour. Hey, remember that one girl? They get like, fuck you. Like, exactly. Let's go. So when one of my clients hit me up telling me that they met somebody, they were able to talk to somebody, and they reach out to you on a personal level, like when you home just chilling with your kids, and you get this text message, right? And you just like, okay, that's a client, maybe they want to train. You open up, it's a long-ass text message, bro. I appreciate how, you know, you've done for me. You have no idea what you've done for me. I'm able to talk to this girl. I'm going to take her on a date now, and I'm able to take her to the bar, not even worry about this guy coming up. Fuck that guy. I'm not going to fight. Don't get mad. But because of you, I could do what I need to do.
The confidence.
Yeah. Right. It's one of those things like that makes me so happy that it's not about the money. It helps.
Of course.
But it's about, like, you know, I'm able to help somebody. I don't know what's going on with this guy's life or this person's life. They reach out to me. I'm going to do the best I can to make sure I'm there for them as much as I can. And that's what I do. I tell them, you need somebody, hit me up. We're going to train. Let's get it. You hit me up. We're going to make it happen. Whatever you need. What kind of music you listen to? All right, we're going to play that playlist. Again, I know so much information about you at this point. If you want to quit, I'm not going to let you. It's going to be your choice, but I'm going to talk so much shit where you're going to be like, fuck, I'm like, remember that guy was making fun of you because this and that? Now, my biggest thing is I haven't worked out for so long, right? Because I was traveling and so much going on, right? My kids, they're in jiu-jitsu, the gymnastics, they do the thing. My daughter is my biggest motivation for me. She say, let me see your arms. I'm like, excuse me? She said, let me see your arms. So I'm like flexing, you know. She's like, nah. I'm like, what? They say, let me see your abs. I'm like, what? It's like, I'm like, baby, I don't have abs. Like, why? So I'm like, say, when are you going to get abs? I'm like, my birthday, which is next year. August, right? So I got plenty of time, but kids, I'm telling you, man, she is my biggest motivator. She motivates me, like, now I'm starting to work out again. Mm-hmm. Trying to get back into it again, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's how everything started, and that's a little bit about myself, and I don't know if I missed anything.
Man. No, dude, that was I think you caught up the timeline. Man.
Bro.
See, those were some of the glimpses in the interview that I was like, okay, you know, talking a little bit about the, you know, kind of the gang affiliation or kind of like street life a little bit. And so hearing all of that together, man, that is a wild story. But now you sit here truly having learned from all of that.
Oh my gosh.
And I think the cooler part is that it's not just that you're sitting here and you're like, well, I learned and now I'm this type of person and wow, look at me. Right. Now it's so cool to me that you're taking everything that you learned, whether it's the skill of boxing or, you know, whatever, right. or fitness or anything like that sort of stuff, but you're more so using the skill of what you learned with mindset and confidence and living life in general.
Correct.
You're taking all of that and you're sharing that with other people. That to me is like the coolest part.
See, that's my goal, man. Like if I always felt like my purpose is to help people, honestly, and I try to do as much as I can for my friends or whoever. All you gotta do is reach out to me. And I promise you, I mean, you could reach out to my friends. I'm a different person. I'm a different breed. My whole life story has changed me to like a person I've never thought I would be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm soft, but I'm tough. I'm tough, but I'm soft. I'm like a Pop-Tart. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
I want to be like, again, I'm at this point where, like, man, I've been called so many names because, you know, called terrorist and go back to your country. You don't belong here, stuff like that, right? I used to get mad at that. That's another reason why I was mad at white people, because what makes it your country? You know what I mean? No, bro, this is America. Right? So to me, it was like, okay. Shit, I lost my thought. Fuck.
You're good.
I was so excited about that. Damn it.
We were talking about like the gaining the confidence and finding out how you can then help other people learn those sort of things. But it was a lot of like, I think, toughening that exterior, but having that soft interior, but kind of how those things then meld together.
So absolutely, it's like one of those things like being told go back to your country. It's not easy. It's not. I had to fight these, especially after 9/11. Bro, my family went through a lot, and again, it's one of those things where like that was another thing added. I'm like, oh, see. I didn't even do anything, but they hate me. Hey, T, why do you hate that person? What did he do to you? Oh, motherfucker, I'm being ignorant. You know what I mean? So that was a learning thing for me. Just like, okay, put your guard down. Everybody's the same, right? So to me, it's like you come to me today and tell me whatever you want. Call me out. Tell me to go back to my country. Call me terrorist. Call me piece of shit. I'm going to laugh at you. I'm like, bro. But if you come to my family, it's a different person. That Chicago T comes out, especially my kids. You know what I mean? And I think everybody out there with the kids, they would agree with it. Like, when it comes down to kids, that's their like,
Because then it's not you that you're having to protect.
Right.
It's like, somebody else.
Exactly.
Because you can take. It's like, hey, I'll take say whatever you want. Fine.
But words do hurt. But I'm not gonna let them hurt me anymore. I let them hurt me way too much in the back. Back in the days, you know what I mean? But now it's just to me, it's like you need some help. You need some knowledge.
Yeah.
You need some knowledge. That's all it is. Yeah. To me, before people tell me go back to country, I'm like, fuck you. You go back to Europe. No, I'm like, okay, why should I go back to country? Like, now I'm having a conversation with the person instead of yelling at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that was my biggest fall down in my career, MMA, because I was just getting, instead of just thinking about the situation. You know what I mean? You hit me, I'm going to hit you back. No, counter. There's such thing. No, fuck you, I'm going to get you back. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that's like all there.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a quote that I heard like years ago, and I even stole it put it on a T-shirt for a clothing line I had for a little bit. But I'm probably going to butcher the quote now, but from what I remember, it was something along the lines of like, don't try to destroy ignorance, instead try to heal it. And I feel like that's a lot of like what you're talking about, where it's like when someone's being ignorant, right? You immediately you want to like engage in that, like, no, you're so stupid. I want to destroy it. I want to blah blah blah. But in turn, you then kind of become the same thing that you're trying to argue against. You know what I mean? And instead of like building up and using all this energy and trying to destroy that thing, have that conversation, or try to heal it, quote unquote. Like,
I remember when I first got a job at a bank with my history, right? I'm like, how the fuck did I get a job at a bank? Like, right? I hate math, and I didn't do well in high school with my history. So my manager, she was one of the nicest person I've ever met in my life. Actually, she told me something that I always carry with me, and that's actually helped me throughout the life. It's funny because, like, at the bank, certain things happen. Like, I have the Chicago mentality. Client comes up and they want to take money out or cash a check. You can't cash a check because you have insufficient funds, so on. So you explain that to the client, and they get mad and throw something at you. I'm looking at it, so I got thrown paper at me. I'm like, remember, you're not going to disrespect me. That's my mentality. I forgot I'm at a bank, so I blacked out, right? So I'm looking. First thing I see is a stapler. So I grab a stapler, open it, and I was about to hit him on his face with it. Now, this is at a bank, right? So I'm holding a stapler, and somebody just grabbed my arm. All right? So I was like, okay. And here's my manager. I was like, fuck. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, we need to talk. I was like, yeah, we do. I'm already blacked out. I'm like, I'm going to fuck this guy up. You disrespected me. Everything came back. I'm going to get the respect right back. All right? So she takes me in there, closes the doors, all office locks the doors. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? I'm like, he threw something at me. He threw paper at me because blah, blah, blah. She's like, Tosif, breathe. And now she has seen a lot of bad behavior, but she hasn't fired me yet. I don't know what's going on. Because really, stapler, you get sued, you get fucked. You don't. I'm thinking about it, right? She's like, I'm like so frustrated. I'm like, why'd you hire me? Why you hired me at the bank? She's like, you know how much potential you have? I'm like, no. She's like, my husband's from Chicago. I was like, oh. It's like South Side. I'm like, oh. My attention. Let's talk about bad stuff. Let's talk about it. Now you got my attention. She's like, no. I've seen him. And I've seen you. You have so much potential. You know what your problem is? I'm like, no. She's like, you take stuff personally. So here's what I need you to do. Don't take stuff personally. Make it personal. Don't take it personally. Make it personally, basically. I'm like, you're not making any sense. What the fuck do you mean? Don't make it personal. They throwing stuff at me. That's personal. Don't take it personal. You don't know what the kind of day they had. Make it personal. Understand their situation. Hey, I'm sorry I can't help you. Is there anything? Let me see what I could do. Maybe talk to my manager. Maybe we could do something else. Make it personal so they feel like, I'm like, damn. Fuck. Whoa. This guy looked at me 2 years ago and I said, what the fuck you looking at? Maybe he liked my shirt. Mm-hmm. I don't know that he was looking at me, right? To me, he's like, right. So that hit me so many levels, so many different ways. Like, don't take it personal, make it personal. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you said in a way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That thought you had. Yeah. That kind of reminded me of what my manager had told me. And she was like my work mom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she took care under me. And guess what? After that, bro, I got promotion. She's like, I told you. You just need to just relax.
Yeah.
You just need to stop, act like everybody's after you.
Now, a question I have for you, and this could be a too deep of a dive off the deep end. Like, I don't know, but like, do you think, like obviously up to that point, you had learned like MMA and boxing. You had been doing that. Like, was that one of, if not maybe in a different circumstance, like was that one of the first times that maybe you felt like somebody like truly believed in you and your potential and voiced that?
Yes.
Because somebody, I'm sure the coaches, the boxing coaches and stuff, I'm sure instilled that in you and stuff, but this is such a different like, with that sense, it's like, hey, you've got potential, take control of your physical actions. Mm-hmm. But did it feel different for this to come from more of like an emotional reaction of like somebody saying,
yes,
I believe in you, you have potential, and I'm going to teach you something different, not to do with your hands, right? More so with your mind, your soul, your voice. Like, is that an accurate
guess?
Yeah,
absolutely, you hit it right there. Again, it's one of those things. Our parents are always there supporting them. They want us to succeed and be successful, whatnot. But they have dreams for us. Some parents like back home, culture, Pakistan, India. Our parents are a little bit different. They want us to be doctors, engineers. They choose for us, so we have to go with that. So to me, honestly, when I was younger, when I was in, as far as back I could remember, I wanted to be in the air, oh my gosh, what's that called? Air Force One. I wanted to be, get into jets. Then I remember after that, I wanted to get into acting. I did. It's one of those things where like, in our school back home, we used to have this one day in a year where people get on stage and they perform. You know what I mean, drama and whatnot. To me, that was so awesome. To me, those people were so cool. They were famous, not necessarily famous, but like I had respect for them because that's something hard to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I want to get into that, but I don't know how to or what. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about it. I'm like, what? 4th grade at this point. So I remember one year I was in 4th grade and our teacher, she asked a question and, me, I'm raising them. I'm like, I know the answer or whatnot. And while she's walking around, this another student comes from the principal office and then they're talking. I'm like, oh shit, somebody's in trouble. So she's looking, she's like, okay, cool. And then she grabs my hand and she's like, go with that girl. I'm like, fuck, I didn't do anything. Again, to me, like, I think that's where it was always, I'm like, what's going on? So she's like, you go with that girl. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the principal's office. I'm in trouble. I did something, whatever. Maybe I'm not wearing the uniform or something. Then they would go to a different classroom and all these actors and actresses there getting ready for the thing, for the year performance. And I'm like, what am I doing here? He's like, we want you to play something. I'm like, excuse me? Like, we want you to play something. I'm like, I froze. It's like a dream come true, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, like,
Right.
you don't have to speak. It's like all you have to do is somebody's gonna be singing in the background, and you just act. So therefore, if the word says laughing, start laughing. If it's smiling, just stuff like that. I was like, all right, so practice. I'm like, all right, cool. So that's what everything started for me, acting wise. Then I watched a lot of Indian movies, and I would just start acting. You know, I acted out when nobody's around, just play, you know, just done whatever, do a whole bunch of shit. Then we come to the States. My dad's like, you're gonna be a businessman. My brother's gonna be a lawyer. My brother's gonna be a doctor. Again, it's assigned to us. That's what we're gonna be. Lose track of all that, right? Then my whole life happened, right? So about a few years ago, life hit me really hard. It hit me so hard that I was on my lows. My lows. I'm like, fuck. I almost wanted to, you know, just end it. You know, I just wanted to pull the trigger. Just wanted to just buy, you know. I wouldn't think about my family. I wouldn't think about my kids. And, you know, life hit me really hard. And it's, you know, one of those things where, like, I got to figure something out, you know. And that's when I started thinking about acting. I'm like, all right, maybe acting is my calling. I don't know. So I started going to school. I started picking up school, acting school. I'm like, you know what? I'm terrified, but at the same time, I wanted to do this. I want to learn. You know, I want challenging. I think the hardest thing is acting. I think it looked easy, but once I got into class and I'm like, holy shit. This is, oh my gosh, there's so much to it. But guess what? I'm glad I did. To me, that's my dream. I was so fucked up with other bullshit, with my life history, everything. Just, you know, it's just like one of those things. Like, again, what's my purpose? I want to help people, but how can I help more people? How can I help? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I want to be an actor. I want to make a movie about my life. I do. That's my biggest goal, because so much shit happens. A lot of people don't understand. You know, they think they know, but. And you know what's fucked up? There's a lot of people struggling through what I've been through out there, and they're having a hard time coming out or coming through. You know what I mean? Like, they need help. And just because you're a man, it's not okay to cry. That's what I was told. So that was, you know, until now, I'm at this point. I'm happy with my life. You know, and once it's gonna come out, it's gonna come out. There's no shame in my game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I want to reach out to people who ever feel like they can't do anything in life, man. Trust me. Trust me. You guys have no idea. No idea. Universe is fucking great, man. Just put your mind to it, put your heart to it, and it'll come to you. And that's exactly what happened. After class, I was in the movie, you know, and I played a Mexican. Fucking weird, right? So I don't know what's going on with the movie. It's been a year or so. I got paid for it. It's called The Last Man Standing. They're supposed to talk to Netflix about it. It's a documentary movie. You know, I played a bad guy and stole a lot of money, $150 million from this guy. So the case is still going on. It's a true story. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do something else with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm at this different level in life where I want to, you know, help people out. I want to inspire people who've been down, who think it's okay. It's not okay to cry as a man or, you know, male. You have to be tough. Nah, man, you don't. You don't. Mm-hmm. Back then, maybe, yeah. It's a different time now, and it's okay to be you. And I finally accept myself, you know. And I'm a soft, sensitive person. I really am. You know, once you get to know me, you're like, damn, yeah, okay. And some people run away from my history. Like, what if that comes back? The only time that tea's coming back, if you attack my family or my friends. If I tell you my homeboy and something happens to you or your family and you hit me up, you need help, I have no gray. I forget. I forget the consequences. I forget who's in front of me. All I know is I gotta protect this person, and they reach out to me, and that's all I gotta do. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Man, I love so much of that, man. And that's, I mean, I love that because I want more people to be doing that. You know, it's why I want to do this whole thing right here in general.
Right.
Is
to reach out, yeah.
Because I think there is power in those things that people don't know.
Absolutely.
The
Yes.
things that people don't get to hear,
Yes.
right? Like that's where the true power comes from. It's not just, oh, they look really tough in the gym, or, oh, they have it all figured out, or, oh, like, I know that, you know, because I've had these conversations, like, you know, people will look and be like, oh, Ross does this and Ross does that, and nothing at all must be wrong whatsoever. And it's like, if you only knew.
Right.
And I know that it's not just, oh, my story. It's everyone's.
Absolutely.
And it goes back to that, you know, the lesson you learned at the bank is
Right.
like, you don't have to be combative, and it is like understanding, like, okay, you must be having a really bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, sorry if I, you know, was a part of whatever, but that's just not
Right.
sorry for you dealing with that. And that's not easy to
It's
learn.
not. Right.
For sure. And it's also not easy when someone's being, for sure, incredibly dumb or incredibly ignorant or whatever. Like, it's very, very difficult
Right.
to reel yourself in. But again, balling all of that up into now all of the stuff that you're sharing and these lessons and these stories and all that sort of stuff, it's like, I don't know. I just love to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
I love to hear those stories, and I love to see how it makes people feel, because it's not just about, oh, I made it through and now I'm successful. I made it through and then all of a sudden everything became easy.
Right. No.
It's every time you level up, there's going to be new challenges
Yep.
on that level, and
yep.
you're always going to evolve and change, and you should be evolving and changing.
Right.
You should be learning how to
Absolutely.
share your emotions, and should be able to sit and tear up and cry during things. I mean,
Right.
you did that in the interview, and I was sitting there like, you know, over in like, you know, Mr. Director's chair, and I'm sitting and crying, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
like. And it's not because it's like, oh my gosh, what a crazy thing. I can't believe you just shared that. It's because, yes, I feel that. And that's what I want. I
Right.
want to feel. I want to connect with people. I want to, you know, understand them.
Right. Absolutely.
On a real level.
Right.
And it's not just, hey, T, come in and tell me about how you're a boxing coach and how sick the gym is.
Yep.
Yeah, or how tough you are,
Right.
or you know,
How many
any
push-ups you could do?
yeah, or like a, you know, a business
No.
person, you know, hey, tell me about your business and tell me how cool it is. Like, even, you know, talking to Ryan, it wasn't just
Right.
tell me how cool the gym is. It's
Right.
tell me why you did that.
Right.
And everything you did to get there. You know, like, that is why I think people's stories are so important. And that's,
Yes.
again, like, I'm just repeating myself at this point, but I love hearing everything that you're sharing, because I do think it is vastly important. And
It is.
to me, it's always like the number one. I always want to connect with somebody,
Right.
whether we are doing business, whether it's friendship, whether it's anything at all.
Right. Absolutely.
And sometimes I actually think I want it too much,
Right.
almost. You know, I sometimes
I've been there.
Yeah,
We've all been there, I think.
yeah, right. Like sometimes I'm
more.
like,
Right.
maybe they don't want to have that deep conversation
no.
right now.
Yeah.
But I'm always just so like, what is it that we can feel together? What is it
Right.
that we can share? And I don't need your
Right.
deepest, darkest secrets, but I do just need the authentic you.
Right.
And I think that is hugely important.
I think so too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, another thing is I wanted to add this is like, you know, growing out with the, you know, family and everything, and just you know, it was hard because my brother came out to me and I didn't accept it. You know, because we don't have that in our culture or whatever. We don't have gays, you know. So I remember telling him this day. He told me when he came out to me, I'm like, what? I'm like, you gay? He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck. This is how bad I was. Remember, bad history. This is the times I was dealing with a lot of shit. I'm like, if you gay by the time I have kids, you can't be around my kids. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, fix yourself. Like, what? Fix? Like, that's what it was programmed. That's what was programmed in our head. That's why I want to add a little bit more to it, because, you know, people, like, especially with our culture, you know, from Pakistan, they deal with this. They can't come out, you know. So my brother comes out, and I tell him that. Now, this is what, 20 years ago, maybe? Now, he lives with me. He's my best friend. He's my kid's best friend. My kids love him. And that's another story that we had to go through as a family, coming out as, you know, my brother, like, hey, look, my parents, you know what I mean? and they didn't accept it. It's not. It's not okay. It's not okay to. So I was not okay with it. And then when he started acting funny, when he was like ready to kill himself, like nobody accepted me. Fuck this. I was like, whoa, fuck all that. I've been there. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna take care of you. If somebody has a problem with you, trust me, they do not want to see Chief from Chicago. They don't. They don't want to see Chief. They don't. And that's happened. People call on like, man, fuck you. And they know they're fucking with him, they're fucking with me. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where like I want to put this out there that it's okay to be you, to love yourself, who you are, and as a lot of families don't accept a lot of things. But think about this. If we lose them forever, is it really worth what people have to say about your kid? No. Fuck the society. It's your kid. It's your fucking blood. Own it. They come to you. Let them come to you. Respect their decisions. Let them live their life instead of just saying, you are shaming me. I'm ashamed of you. There's so many people in my culture, religion, that they can't come out and they commit suicide because and me and my brother's working on something to help people out. I mean, I want to be there with that because I was so against it at some point. I was, again, ignorant. That's the biggest word I could, ignorant, and I don't know what else, if this is a worse word for it, I probably was that. You know what I mean? But again, I believe God doesn't put you in a situation where he doesn't think you can handle it. So all these tests that I've been through made the person I am today, made a man I am today. I love everybody. I got respect for everybody. I have no beef with nobody. If somebody's social media thinks I don't like their shit, no, it's not like that. I'm doing my own thing, trying to figure this out, But yeah, man, I think the answer is love. Honestly, that's all it is. Again, you could cuss me out. I'm going to hug you. Let's talk about this, bro. You need to talk about this because nobody's listening to you. That's why you letting it out on me, and I won't be the guy taking because I'm a punching bag. I have been, and I know how to do it because I've been in a situation where nobody was there for me. Nobody could help me. When I wanted to kill myself. Now I feel the pain like, no. We're not going to do that. I don't care how bad it is. It couldn't be that bad where you're going to fucking end your life. It's not that bad. You want to talk about it? I'm all ears. You want to fucking spar? Put gloves on, mouthpiece. Let's do it. It's going to be friendly spar. You want some mitt work? Let's do some mitt work. You want to do push-up? Whatever you want to do. But don't you fucking dare. Fuck you for doing that. But think about your family members. Think about what they have to go through because your dumbass couldn't face your fucking problems. That was me. That was fucking me, dog. Like, I was just ready to quit, and I see somebody talking. I'm like, I don't care what the fuck is going on. I'm going to cancel my clients. I promise you. If I'm with the client and somebody comes like, fucking life sucks, Ross, let's reschedule. I got something going on, bro. I got to make sure this person's okay. No hard feelings. I'm not going to charge you for this session at all. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw an extra session at you. Sorry. Just because I'm inconvenience you, but I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah.
And if you say no, then I'm going to say, look, give me 30 minutes. Just here, listen to some music. Listen to my playlist. But I want to talk to you before you fucking leave. I'm not letting this person out of my sight because when nobody fucking, you feel like the world's against you. You're supposed to have the one person, you're supposed to go to. When that person doesn't show love, you do feel like the world's against you. So you feel like nobody can help you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So therefore, I'm actually thinking about doing something like, I smoke coca, just chill. Thinking about doing something like having once a month or something. Have some people over if they want to come, talk about their life. Like, talk about, again, there's a lot of people in a relationship. They can't talk about their true feelings to their spouses because they don't understand. Or their partners or whatever the case might be. So they hide, like, again, my brother was gay, so he had to deal with that outside the family. So there's a lot of people out there dealing with that. So I want to reach out to that. Like, I'm trying to set something up to where, like, once a month, we sit down, smoke hookah if you're drinking, whatever you want to do, snacks. Let's chop it up. What's up? You know what I mean? And if, again, I start doing that with my clients. My clients like, I'm depressed, I can't train today. Well, guess what we're doing? We're having a smoking session. let's talk about it. Because I don't want to train you. I want to make sure you physically, I mean, if you're not mentally okay, you're not physically perform. Mm-hmm. So now I'm trying like, hey, come through. We sit down. We get the hookah going. We smoke. We chill. We talk. Next thing you know, my goal is when you come to the gym, whatever you got going on through the day, I want to make sure that you leave that at the gym and go home fresh. When you come to me smoking hookah with me, I want to make sure whatever's bothering you, I want to go home, start fresh. I'm all ears. I'm all whatever you need, shoulder, because nobody was there for me, so I know how bad that is. Mm-hmm. It sucks. It fucking sucks, bro. So therefore, I'm again working on something. So I'm gonna make a group or something to my friends. You know, whoever wants to come kick it, come hang out. We're gonna smoke. You know, PlayStation's right there if you want to play a game or snacks. You know what I mean? I use my spot. You know what I mean? I have a garage set up. That's where I got 2 couches and TV. Me and my brother, that's where we chill. That's what we talk about. That's where we meditate. You know, we talk about our feelings. Again, it's one of those things where like you have to have the outlet. A lot of people don't have the outlet right now. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they assume that he's okay or she's okay. No. Talk about it. If something's bothering you, voice your opinion. And if your partner or significant other, your family member, mom, dad, nobody's understanding, there's people like me. Trust me. We've been there. I got you. 100. I got you. I'm all ears, shoulders. If you need a shoulder lean on, I got you. So that's something I'm working on.
Dude, I would love to see that happen.
And I'm going to invite you too. We're going to do a podcast right there.
I am there.
Bro.
I love it.
Whoa. All right, I'm going to set something up soon then.
Now, not to jump the shark too much, but like, I will say, I think you should have a podcast.
Oh, shit. Really? I don't know, man.
Like, I'm not obviously not putting the pressure on you, not being like, hey, dude, you have to. But man.
My brother's told me about that. My brother's like, yo, you know, when we start smoking, when we hanging out, cooking, you're. I want to just watch you. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm a comedian, I guess. I don't know.
No,
so
man.
Like, I don't know, man.
I think there might be something there, man. Of whether it is just the stories or whether it is sitting with people or whether it is helping people or you know, talking about those things and getting stuff off your chest or giving them a place to like. I am always an advocate for people talking, and nowadays, you know, you turn that into a podcast so it can reach, you know, anybody else and all that sort of stuff. So I will put that little
to think about,
thing in, something
Absolutely.
to think about maybe because,
Absolutely.
but I think that even just the group event and gathering people and I would love to come to that and like.
Heck yeah.
Because again, going back to like the point we were talking about earlier, like I think there's so much value in people just finding that space and time, that place, whatever it is, to just talk.
Right.
You don't have
be
to.
Yourself.
Yes. It's not like, oh, we have to try and be really funny right now, or oh, we have to only talk about the weather, or we only have to talk about the sports, or the. It's like, no. Let's actually talk about
what's going on.
What is happening?
What's up with Ross?
Yeah, exactly.
How's Ross doing? Have you talked to Ross lately? Because again, to me, one of my things is like a lot of times my clients or my friends come up to me like, I can't figure this shit out. What should I do? I'm like, you know what? Have you talked to, I said, Ross? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, look, here's what I want you to do. I want you to find a place where nobody could bother you, put your cell phone, turn it off, and sit down and talk to Ross. Like, what the fuck does Ross want? Because we always do shit that we think people want us to do, society wants to do. So we're so focused on that, we forget what the fuck we want. So we forget to talk to us like, hey, T, what you want? And that's what I've been doing the whole time, doing whatever. Now I'm like, nah, I got to do what I got to do. I lost some friends. They don't talk to me anymore because I'm focused on myself, and it's okay.
Yep.
Friends going to come and go. No hard. It's all about me now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, okay, have you talked to Ross? No. All right, let's do that. Find out why you're feeling what you're feeling. But if you're feeling the way you're feeling on Instagram, you're not going to get the answers because you're fucking looking at the pictures and thinking out what the fuck they're doing, how they get there.
Yep.
That you fuck it up. So why don't you put that shit down? Like, okay, let's start with this. Where did you start and where you at today? Let's start with that. Damn, I was gangbanging, I almost got killed some people, then I almost got arrested, and well, dang, okay. So there was a shift up. Okay, cool. Let's start with that. Let's appreciate what you got going on now, and let's focus on what your goal is. Once you figure out what your goal is, once you see the light, You know which way to go. Because right now you're going, oh, there's a light. There's a tunnel. There's right there. That way you can focus on that. And that's the only thing that matters at the time. You forget about everything else because you know what? No matter what you do, there's somebody going to say something bad about you. So say, Ross didn't spend time with me. He's always do this and that. Well, guess what? Ross is doing his own thing. So that's the thing I've been doing. Hey, what does T want? Why'd you feel like a piece of shit today? What triggered it? Let's talk about that. So I'm talking to myself like, okay, T, what's up? Okay, I woke up. I would this. Oh, that's what it was. I can't let that do that. Okay, let's do that. I thought. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
And so much of that, I think nowadays that gets kind of balled up in like the phrase of like mindset, right? Of like positive mindset. And so many people take that the wrong way because they think that like when you're telling them like, hey, let's think about this and what do you really want and what do you not want and all that sort of stuff, and they hear something that sounds like mindset, a lot of people immediately go to, oh, you want me to pretend everything is fine.
Right.
And it's like, well, no. Gain that self-awareness, figure out like what you do and do not want. What are these things that maybe are trigger points that are, what are these relationships? What are these jobs, scenarios, anything like that's really what it is of refocusing, like you were saying.
Absolutely.
Like refocus that mindset so you understand like, okay, what are things that could maybe break me out of this cycle? The same cycle, because it's so easy to get caught up in that cycle of I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to interact with whoever in work, outside of work, whatever. I'm going to scroll through social media. I'm going to compare myself to everyone's highlight reel. You know, like I'm just going to go through this same cycle every day and forget to maybe make growth for me. And
Absolutely.
I did the same thing while doing what I wanted to be doing. You can still, I feel like at any level, you can still get,
Absolutely. I agree.
I feel like I've told this story enough on the show at this point, but like, in 2020, I didn't want to do anything related to video at all. I was done.
Wow, okay.
Because I got caught up in the cycle of I need clients and I'm creating and I'm giving so much of my energy to everyone else all the time. I didn't remind myself like like you said,
Ross want.
What does Ross want to do? Oh, well, Ross really likes telling stories in these ways and he doesn't get to do that through all of these client projects. So how do you find a better balance with that? How do you not get just so caught up in the cycle of, oh, well, this person on Instagram gets to do whatever they want. Why can't I do that? It's like, well, you can.
Absolutely.
You just have to take that step into doing that.
Right.
And the thing is too is like there was something you said earlier that actually made me think of this. So I'm glad it's kind of popped back up. Is like I think so often, whether you want to call it mindset or just refocusing your life or mentality or whatever, I think a lot of people get stuck on the fact that it's not an immediate quick fix.
Yes.
I think that's what a lot of people probably think.
I'll agree with you 120%. You know how I realized that scenario is that when I was in the gym, because I'm trying to get results. I'm not seeing results. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm done. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I'm done. But it takes time. And that's what you just said it right there. Like a lot of people, like I want to be like, fix this today, tomorrow should be good. No. It does take time. And you know what? I think it takes practice. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where like I highly recommend it. Talking to yourself. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but guess what? Only you know more than anybody else. So therefore, if you think you're not being yourself, why? Ask yourself why. What's the holdup? Why can't I be by myself? Is there judgment in the family? Maybe. Is there something? If I do this, society's gonna look at me the wrong way. If you're thinking that you stuck in the circle, you're never gonna come out. You fucked.
There's another quote that has always stuck in my head that I love, and it's something along the lines of, "Who are you when no one else is around?"
Yes.
When you are completely by yourself, and we're talking, let's exclude social media. You're not scrolling on that. You're not watching a movie. Like if you were just sitting in a room, no distractions, nothing to do, and anyone around you that could persuade you in some certain way, because sometimes you act certain ways around certain people, right?
Exactly.
But if you take all that away, kind of like you're saying, who are you? Talk to yourself.
Yep,
like identify who you really are when all of those things are stripped away. And is it somebody that you are happy to be with?
Right.
Is it somebody you're happy to hang out with?
Right.
Or can you identify, wow, when I'm not when I'm not being the loudest person in the room for all my friends to listen to, and I don't have attention on me, I actually don't really like that. Okay, so how can you fix that? Oh wow, when I'm not the funniest person in the room, I don't really like that. I don't like myself when I'm not having people laugh with me, right? Like how can you get around that? And even in the same way for me, what are you, who are you when you're not directing a video, when you're not creating something, right? And yes, I can say at the core of who I am a creator. I want to storytell. I want to create all these magical things, anything that I possibly can. I love the idea of doing, but strip all the actual action of doing those things away. Am I, when I'm just sitting alone with myself in my mind, am I happy with what I'm sitting with?
Right, absolutely. Or am I doing this to please other people? Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then you're going to lose that battle every single time, because you know what? The more you please other people, the more you lose yourself. And you put yourself second, and the second is the first to lose.
Yeah. Now, okay, I feel like you've definitely probably answered this amongst our conversation, but I want to ask it. What do you feel like the most important lesson, or a couple, if there's a couple, that you have learned through everything that you've experienced?
Man, the first thing is don't assume. Because I assumed people wanted to fight me. I assumed people hated me. That was the biggest thing. Because of my history, because of what I lived through. And it was just like, let's say somebody liked my shirt. They were looking at me. I assume they don't like me because of my color of skin, or they're thinking something. So I think that's one of the things, like, assumptions, man. That's your fucking biggest enemy. You assume shit. If you have any issues, problems, let's speak out. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And the second one is patience. You know what I mean? Patience to understand if somebody's mad at me, why they're mad at me, instead of just fighting back. You know what I mean? Personal or at the gym, professional. I am a human being. Maybe I fucked up, then I know it. Let's talk about it. Why you yelling at me? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you have logical reason to yell at me. Let's talk. Before I was like, man, fuck you. Who you think you're talking to? Nah, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Now it's like, hey, I'm sorry if I did something. It was not intention, but let's talk about what happened, because I don't want to do that again. I don't like this. This is, we have a good thing going on, right? Client, friend, or whoever it is. You feel that about me, honestly, it's an honest mistake. I don't know what I did, but can we please talk about it so I don't make the same mistake again with somebody else? Maybe, again, it's one of those things where maybe I said something. I have no filter sometimes. I say some. And they're like, yeah, we don't appreciate that. Well, let me know, so I won't say it. If you don't say it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to have problems then, you know what I mean? So I think patience is the biggest one, too, as far as, like, just taking a step back and looking at the picture before you jump into the conclusion. Like, you yelled at me? Fuck you. I'm going to yell right back at you. I could do that, too. Nah, it's not like that. It's just like, I think that's learning. I think this patience, just being observant. Like, I observe stuff. I've always observant, but like, I think patience was the biggest issue for me. Like, I've always just like, no, you talk to me that way, I'm gonna talk right back to you that way. Now it's like, okay, something must have happened. You having a rough day or something. I'm at this point, like, I want to talk about it. If you think I could help you listening, let's talk about it. You want to punch me? Oh God, hold on. Let's do it. But I'm not going to hit you back. But whatever will help you make you feel better, I want to do it. Because honestly, at the end of the day, overall, one of my other friends asked me the same question. Like, hey, what's your purpose in life? I think it's to help people. Like, I went to Pakistan earlier this year, and I saw so much stuff. I want to build so much stuff there for people to help out. In order to do that, you need money. You know what I mean? That's why I want to pursue my acting career, because I know I know I'll be good at it. I believe, I'm confident. It's me. I was made for this. I finally understand it, and I kind of learned the classes of, whatever. I know it's me, and I know I'm gonna take it to the next level. I don't know what y'all gonna see me on big screen soon. I promise you that. It's gonna happen. Universe, Yep. So that's my biggest thing. Like I say, I wanna make it big. You know, again, it's not about the fame, money. It's about helping. Cause I've seen some shit that I can't even explain. Like, damn, I'm blessed. Let's share this blessing. My dad, you know, he passed away last year. You know, he always had something going on. Certain like, hey, charity. Like, hey, I want to help this person out because back home people need help. You know. America is one of the greatest countries in the world, bro. Back home, if you don't have money, you ain't got shit. You could be the smartest guy in the room. They will not hire you. They will not pay you shit. So therefore, people struggle there. So my dad was helping them. I want to continue doing that. I want to continue sending money people who can't afford to work, who can't, like they're elders. They can't get jobs. They treat them like shit. I want to be able to help those people out. My mom is doing it. I want to continue my dad's legacy. And again, for that, you know, my dreams are so big, they scare the shit out of me. They really do. And I was scared at first, but I'm like, nah, hell no. If your dreams are not big enough, they scare you, they're not big. No. If they don't scare the shit out of you, no.
Yeah.
I was used to be okay with, you know, this. No, I'm like, you know what? Shoot for higher stars, because universe, you never know. You have to believe it. Number one, believe in yourself, and whatever you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, believe it, and I promise you, you will have it. I know I'm gonna be an actor. I want to be in the big screen. I'm telling you this right now, Ross. Today is what is today? Monday. What is October 11th? Couple of years or something. I don't know, man. I'm just trying.
I love it.
And that's my goal. That's my dream, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just be, and that's gonna help me. Like again, that just, I really want to create a movie about my life. Just help people out, including my brother. You know, who's gay, who had to deal with it. There's a lot of people I know still struggling with coming out to their parents because, well, guess what's gonna happen when they come out? They're gonna get disowned, kicked out the family. And then what's going to happen? They're going to commit suicide, and then, oh, fuck. No. No need to do that. A lot of things have changed in America. No. So I think it's important to send out the message that it's okay to be who you are and to be accepted who you are by the especially by the families. The families are first defense. That's it. If your family don't own you, they don't support you, then nobody will. Like, oh, your own family don't support you a certain way, then why should we? So therefore, I think it's a bigger picture. Like, I want to help more because there's still stuff happening. There's still people hiding. There's still people committing suicide because they are not accepted by who they are. And I don't care if you're transgender. I'm at this point where, like, if I cut you and your blood is red, I think we're okay. I don't give a fuck what you look like on the outside. If you're green, then we might have a problem. Blue blood, maybe. But, you know, if we're okay. I do not give a fuck. But if you need a hug, I'm a hugger. If you need a hug, bro, I will tell you, hug is so fucking powerful.
Dude, you know, I'm all about hugs.
You know what, right? It's like 3-second hug, like, whoa, what just happened? Feels so light.
Yep.
You walk, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
One of my friends at the gym I met, and she's like, I love your hugs. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why? She's like, they felt genuine. I'm like, good. She's like, every time I hug you, it's like I release something. I'm like, good. So I shared that with my daughter, and I'm like, baby, can you give me a hug? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm shaking her. She's like, what? I'm like, whoa. So I checked. I'm like, you got magic here. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just took my pain away. She's like, I did? I'm like, yeah. So now she's a hugger. She's like, if you feel, I'm feeling down. She's like, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So,
yeah.
Again, the world has changed so much. It's not okay to hug a man. It's gay. No, fuck. I'm a hugger. If you need a hug, come hug me. I don't give a fuck how big you are or whatever you are. No fucking hate. Hug makes a big difference, bro. Big difference. And
I support the hug.
Right? Thank you. We need to come up with a shirt. I support the hug. Let's do it. Hashtag I support the hug.
I'm so.
You know what I mean? There's a couple of years ago I posted a meme on on social media. This guy's doing the pec machine, and yeah, I'm doing this so I could be stronger at hugs. I'm like, yes,
You're
like,
like,
yes, yep, that's exactly.
That's it.
So yeah, man. No, again, it's one of those things where like, I think it's important to talk to yourself to see what you really want. Are you doing this for yourself, your own happiness, or are you trying to make somebody else happy? You know, and I encourage people to just let what everybody says and do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, and you live it. Like you said, if nobody's around, it's just me by myself. Am I doing what I want to do? Am I doing what people want to do? People want me to do, I mean. You know what I mean? And I think that's the key to it, to finding yourself. And it took me a long time to do that. And I think I did it, and it was really hard because I had no help. So it was really tough. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to me when somebody's sad. If I see my friend sad, it's hard for me to see that because I don't know what they're going through. I want to talk to them. And sometimes I used to be like, let's talk about it. And they're like, no, I need space. I'm not understanding that's truly what they needed. Just give them some time, you know. And I'm always annoying, you know what I mean? Now I'm like, know your audience. All right. He likes hugs or she likes hugs when let's hold him for a second. She wants space, give him space. Don't leave. Space means just be here. Don't say shit. The energy, just knowing, because something gonna trigger, you're gonna let it out. You want somebody there to hear. That's all it is. So to me, that's why, like, I've been in a situation where I wanted somebody to be there, and instead of being there, I was questioned. Why? Why are you feeling what you feeling? Like, no, I just want somebody there. Just in case I'm feeling, I could just go like this, you know what I mean? But no, you're pushing that away. So I learned that. I was doing that to people by thinking hug was the answer because I'm a hugger, right? No, know your audience, right? So now I'm at this point where, like, if somebody's having a bad day, I'm going to text you like, hey, look, man, I'm right here. If you need something, let me know. I'm next door, or I'm not leaving this room until whatever the case is. You know what I mean? You don't have to share nothing with me. All I want is have just me and you conversation like we did yesterday. To me, confirmation, we're okay. You're okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you could tell by your friends when they're faking and not pretending, you know, conversation, you know, having a conversation. So it's one of those things where, like, that's something I've learned as well, too. You know what I mean? Just like
yeah,
not just go with, you know, just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for that person. So therefore, love has different languages, and that's another thing I've learned. Get to know, you know, audience. It doesn't have to be love as far as, like, you know, marriage or boyfriend. No, love could be brothers, you know, mom, dad. Love, you know, what they want, what kind of comfort they want, and the same thing. You got to respect and understand and provide that for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but yeah. I need some water. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, dude.
I'm talking
No, man, I could listen to you talk all day, dude. I really could. I truly could. Okay, well, so before we start to wrap up, one of the last things I want to ask you is, like, you know, we're talking about all of this now. Again, looking back at your story, you've shared your story, everything you've learned, everything you've been through, everything that you can now sit and say that you understand, or even more willing to learn, or you can identify that you are continuing to grow and learning and now knowing that, right? How does it feel for you to be able to sit here and share all of those thoughts and feelings, to know that now T gets to sit here and yes, you train people in boxing, and you get to talk to people, and you get to you know how to harness your energy now, but, like, how does it feel for you
to be out here and sharing that,
to just know that you now have the ability to harness all of that and give to other people?
It's one of those things where, like, I don't know how to describe it in words because it is so huge. Again, people are going through so much shit, not knowing that again, people look at me like, oh, he's a clown. All I do is dance at the gym and make jokes, but they have no idea what I've been through, what I had to go through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where, like, again, I can't put this in words how big or huge it is for me to put the word out there. You know, let people know that, you know, it's okay to cry if you're a man. It's okay. You know, it's not a big deal, whatever. So to me, I feel like this is going to get the word out. Before, certain people knew, only few people knew about what's going on, whatnot. or if I'm offering help or not, or what I could do or not. I think this makes me feel so good, like amazing in a way. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story, because I know there's so much that people are going to look at it like, dang, have no idea. Whoa. Dang. Okay, now it makes sense why he's crazy. You know what I mean? But, at the same time, like, I want people to know that, like, dang, okay, when you coming out with the group thingy, I want to come talk to you. I want to come talk. I want to hang out. I want to kick it, because I'm in a situation where nobody is understanding me. When I say nobody, a lot of people misunderstand that. To me personally, when I say nobody, it's okay. When you have that person in your life, best friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, and they're not understanding it, that is, just think about it. That's your world right there. If they don't understand it, how is somebody else? So we shut down. Like, damn, they're not going to understand it. That's what happened to me. Nobody understood me. My loved one didn't understand me, what's going on. I'm still trying to figure me out, So this is a quote say, I'm not crazy, I'm just misunderstood. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where, like, I want people to know that I'm trying to be not that mean mugging at the gym, I'm trying to be more friendly to that, more welcoming to people, you know what I mean? And again, this is, to answer your question, this, again, I don't know how to say it in words, but it feels amazing. It feels so good. Like, I feel relieved in a way, because there's no people some people going to look at me, laugh at me. Some people going to be like, damn, I could relate. Some people like, damn, I want to reach out to this guy. And again, I'm out for anything. You know what I mean? If I could help with anything, with training, or somebody you just want to talk to, listen, whatever, smoke hookah wood, just kick it with. I don't drink, so let me know. Like I said, I'm open, and I don't know if this is gonna help anybody out there, but my Instagram will be on there. I think so.
Yeah,
dude,
of course.
They can reach out.
Always.
So I was gonna say that way they can say, all right, T, what's up? Let's just set it up. So again, I'm really, really thinking about this, getting my brother and set something up for once a month because he has a group of people that, again, that they came out. So there's more people coming out. So he's helping that group of people. So I want to focus on everybody. Again, if you bleed red, we're okay. Mm-hmm. We're okay. So come through. I don't have no hard feelings if you want to talk about, I don't know about politics, but if you want to let out the personal stuff, yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Politics gets too fucking crazy. I'm not.
Of course, yeah,
I'm not about that.
Let's stay more in the lane of, like, let's talk about us.
Yeah,
and our feelings.
Why are you mad today? What happened?
Yes, of course.
Well, Trump did this or Biden did this. Like, okay, you know what? Let's listen to music. Let's do this real quick. Yeah. I'm not going into that. Gets too bad. That gets too too deep.
It gets some weird gray.
But areas. Honestly, again, I know I'm repeating myself. I feel like it's a huge opportunity for people to reach out and to understand that it's okay if you're an MMA fighter or if you're just a regular guy, it's okay to cry. If you lift 20 pounds or 250 pounds, doesn't matter. If you feel like you need to cry, let it out. Trust me, let it out. It's going to make you feel better. If you hold it up, the worse it's going to get. And another thing I would say is trying to find an outlet to talk to somebody, friends, family, if somebody wants to listen to you or whatever, focus on yourself. That's the biggest thing. And over all this craziness, starting from my dad's story to me, it's that's all it is. I have to ask what I want to do. What makes me happy? Am I doing this for myself, or am I doing this because it makes Ross happy? No. If it makes Ross happy, guess what? I'm going to continue doing that, and he's going to continue staying up here, and I'm going to continue staying here.
Yeah.
So that's not, because the more I do it, it's going to continue pushing. So therefore, I got to put myself first. So, huge advice. I know I said it before. Put the cell phone aside. Talk to yourself like, hey, man, what is it I want? What is it I want? What's holding me back to achieve my goals? What is it? What's, is society, judgment? No. Right here. It's all right here. Follow your heart. I'm telling you. So it's going to be okay.
Man, T, thank you so much,
man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me.
Was wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so final question. I ask the same exact question at the end of every episode.
Okay.
I am so excited to hear your answer.
Oh, shit.
Pressure's on. Here we go.
Let me get some water first. I'm bumping the table and everything.
So right now, I want you to pretend like everyone everywhere in the entire world Doesn't matter language barriers. None of that matters. They can all hear you and they can all understand you. So you have a live mic connected to the entire world, and you get to speak to everyone all at once. What is it do you think they should hear?
Shit, that is a deep question. Honestly, I'm just gonna say what's in my heart, and that's to love each other regardless of the situation. We only die once. A lot of people say, "Oh, you only live once." No, you live every single day. You die once. Once you're gone, you're done. You know. So, what's the purpose of hating somebody? What's the purpose of like hating your neighbor, for example? There's a lot of times that happens. You know. I think again, it's a really deep question, but if we stop listening to media or stop following certain things, I believe that things could be better. You know, just look at it like, okay, you hear something happen in the news, for example. I know we're not talking politics, but I'm just giving you an example. Something happened in Pakistan and all the Pakistanis are bad. No, I'm in Pakistan. You know what I mean? Look at me. Think about that for a second before you put everybody in the same, you know, oh, he's Pakistani, so I'm not going to, he's my neighbor. He can't be here. I hate him. No. Let's talk about how is this person helping you, or how is this person affecting you, or how is this person messing you up in a way or messing up your life. If it's not, then you have, if we just focus on ourselves, right? I think, again, it's a deep question. It's hard for me to answer because I'm trying to get to it. So honestly, love is the answer. I don't care what anybody says. It's hard for people to believe that or to hear that, because once we get mad, love is not what we want to hear. It's like, fuck you too. No, just think about it for a second. If somebody yells at you, for example, if instead of yelling back, if we just listen, okay, or take a step back, what is this person going through? We might have a better understanding, and that's love. That's understanding. You know, that's respect. I think those things are so important. Again, I think humans are the worst animals. You know what I mean? If we could just fucking just learn to love each other regardless of whatever the situation is or backgrounds or whatever, I think the world would be so much better place if we could just learn to love. And that's a problem right now in the world, honestly. Just if your neighbor gets a better car, some neighbors get jealous no, congratulate them. Be happy with them. It's hard for people to do that. Mm-hmm. Why? Insecurities. Again, it all comes down to, what is it I want? Why am I feeling insecure about this? Why am I feeling jealous about that? What is it? No. They had an opportunity just like you do. They're human just like you do. They work their ass off. Maybe you're not working your ass off. So you know, just think about that instead of just pointing fingers. Just let me hold up a second. Before I say something, let me make sure I'm okay. I have my information correct. So if that all takes, again, it's so hard to do for people. Love, patience, respect. It's like if you have that, but that's the thing. If I'm the only person that learned, that's a huge success. And if I could teach that somebody, I think that's a success. So if your small number grows, people understanding small things, appreciation, I think it's doable. But with the new generation, you know, again, it's one of those things where like, if we just stop worrying about what people judging us, or we stop judging, we'll be good. But that's not gonna happen. That's what makes us humans.
Yeah.
So if I have the world, the mic is mine. I love you guys. If I could hug everybody, I would. Because hug is the answer. Love is the answer. Hate is not the answer. That just gets worse, you know. So here's an air hug for everybody. I love you guys. And Ross, thank you. I love you. Thank you for having me and listening to me, because I've been yapping the whole fucking time. And it's like, whoa, my friends tell me, boy, you got mouthpiece on you.
Dude, it has been an absolute blast, man. This is everything that I mean, it sounds weird to say this, but this is everything I was hoping for in us having this conversation. Awesome. I just wanted it to be, you know, this show, this podcast is not the biggest one in the world, but whenever it can be a space or a platform for people to feel like they can share or open up or connect or whatever it is, like that is all I want. So if it felt like that to you, that's
the connection. Like I said, I was so happy to be here. I'm sweating, so it was an amazing experience. This is my first time I'm doing it, and it was an amazing experience to share my story. I feel like the world's gonna know a little bit about me. A lot of people know me. They think they know me, but they have no idea. And now they might look at me a little different. I don't know, but it's all good. Like I said, I love everybody. Bring on whatever. So if you see me on the street, hug me. I'm all about hugs, baby.
Dude, I mean, and that's the thing, man. Listen, the little bit that I heard from that interview that day when we were shooting the story film for Fit14, like that was enough for me to be like, I want to get to know this guy better. I want to hear all of that story. I want to connect with him. I want to know him truly for, past just like, hey, we shot a video and we see each other whenever we're in the gym again shooting something or something. So I cannot say how much I appreciate you coming on, sharing everything and sharing your story, being open, being vulnerable. And I am so very stoked that we have connected. Yes. That we are now friends. I think I can safely say that.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man. We're going to smoke together soon.
And dude, I just appreciate it, man. I'm so happy that I've gotten to know you. I'm glad just through a random interview that you shared what you shared, and I was like, I want to know this guy better. And now we've sat here and talked for almost 2 hours. Right. Know your whole story.
The feelings are mutual. The feelings are mutual, bro. I appreciate it. This has been an honor. Like, I'm humbled just to share my story and just this is a huge opportunity to me. I think just to, if you reach out 2-3 people and they feel like they got something, I think that's a huge success for us. Yeah. So to me, so thank you for listening to my story and putting me out there so people could kind of get an idea of who really T is. Because a lot of, again, Columbus have some people that think they know, but no idea. Yeah. So
well, dude, this is the place for it. This is the place where if you think you know somebody, you're gonna hear what you haven't heard before. T, we did it, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
We did it.
Yes. Woo.
That's it.
That was good shit.
That was. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, there's episode 48 in the books. I loved having that conversation, and I hope you guys loved listening to it and getting to know T along with me. I am so happy I got to have him on and just give him, I don't know, some sort of a platform or really just the space to share his real, true story, like he said, for the first time, really all the way through in that type of detail. So again, thank you to T for being on the show and being so open with me about those things. And honestly, I might just have to take him up on some boxing lessons sometime. That's been a thing that's been circling in my head ever since I met him. So I might have to try that out. But if you yourself would like to check out what T's doing or hit him up for boxing lessons or whatever it may be, here's your reminder to check him out online. You can find his tags and all that good stuff all in the show promos for this episode and, of course, in the show notes themselves. And also, you obviously can go to fit14.com and find all the info that you'll need about where to get in contact with him and all that sort of stuff. Or maybe really just stop in the gym sometime. Just Google it. It'll take you there. We have that type of technology, folks. Show up at the gym and tell them you're looking for T, but mostly tell them that the What You Don't Hear podcast sent you. But for real, though, thanks for listening to this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you even more for going and checking out the episode there. Wherever you are on the internet, please hop over to iTunes and Apple Podcasts if you have a moment. Toss us a rating and a review. I'd really love to see some more feedback from you guys and see just kind of what you think of the show, what you're liking, maybe what you're not liking. I don't know. Hopefully there's not a lot of that. But yeah, hop over to iTunes, drop a rating, drop a review, subscribe on iTunes while you're there. Of course, follow on Spotify so you never miss an episode, whether it be these full-length episodes or any of the 50-Minute Fridays. Follow us around social media at WYDHPod and interact with me there. All in all, if you do anything to support this show in any way, I genuinely, seriously, sincerely thank you so very much. This is fun to do. but not always easy to make. So any sort of listener support goes a really, really long way. But regardless of how tough it may get, much like the lessons we learned in this episode, there's no room for giving up, and we gotta keep going and moving forward. So I'll be back to do this all again next episode with a brand new guest that you may or may not know of, as they share their story that you for sure never heard.